Jai Gurudev. We welcome you all to this online session of Bliss, Becoming and Being, Part 36. Me and Gaurama, we are ardent disciples of Guru Ramlalji Siyag, whom you can see in the photograph. And we are here to discuss FAQs, which is frequently asked questions, and which erupt in our minds as disciples, as new disciples, or when you're thinking of following Guru Siyag Yoga, or who have already been following this path for some time. So we have these doubts, these questions which keep on erupting into our mind, and we want answers to them, and for some reason we don't go ahead and ask these questions, but we feel that these questions need to be answered so that it will help you to kind of go ahead onto this path without any doubt and with a lot of conviction and confidence. So, um, just to give you a background, that Guru Siyag Yoga. In this, we have Gurudev Ramlalji Siyag, and if you see, we'll come up with the photograph. Yeah, he's in the white clothes, and along with him, his Guru Baba Gangainath Ji Yogi, and who had instructed Gurudev Ramlalji Siyag to freely distribute this spiritual gift to all the human mankind. And Gurudev then started initiating a lot of people, I would say millions of people, onto this path, both in India and outside India, like abroad, and taught them this simple practice of Guru Siyag Yoga, which is meditation and mental chanting. And this, following this path, a lot of people have, I would say, benefited. And benefited in which way? Mentally, physically, and spiritually. So, Gurudev is enlightened spiritual Sadguru who has gifted us this process, and we would be taking up these questions which would help you to understand this yoga much better. And just to also tell you one or two more, three things is that it's a very simple process. It is free of cost. It is, I mean, there are no restrictions that, that you can't do it in this time or that time. You can do it any time of the day, anywhere. There are no restriction of seeing in a particular direction or any religion, or, it is independent of all these things which bind one's progress towards mukti or towards moksha, I would say. Yeah, that's a better. Or so it's a simple two-way process, which is there are two things which are important. One is the mental chanting, and the other is mantra jap, which means non-stop recitation of mantra. The recitation has to be done in a proper way. The pronunciation has to be correct, and for which we will be displaying, we will be listening to Gurudev's mantra going ahead, and we can only start chanting the mantra once we listen to Gurudev's once we listen to the mantra in Gurudev's voice, and that's how you become initiated into this Guru Siyag Yoga, and after which you can continue to do meditation twice a day for 15 minutes and non-stop, I would say, chanting round the clock. And that's the way to go about it. And we will definitely discuss more going forward. So we'll take up a question, and I would ask Gorima to, tell us how to go about it, and subsequently we'll share the method of meditation, and then we'll put the video of Gurudev wherein you listen to the mantra in his voice, and then we will go for 15 minutes meditation. I hope the time permits us to do that, and that's how would be the our session format. Yes, Gaurima, thank you for being here, and yeah, you
Jai
would like
Guruji,
to.
everyone.
Yeah, so following up, I mean, we've been doing these FAQ sessions earlier, and those of you who have missed it can go and see our earlier sessions we've been doing. And today we are going to take up this question, which is there on the website of gurusyagyog.org, and you can look up to these questions and find out your answers. But for the benefit of most of you, we are also taking up and discussing through with these questions. So for today the question, Garima, we would like to focus on is what are few reasons for the lack of spiritual progress on this path of following Guru Siyag Yoga? Yeah.
Yeah, although this is a very simple practice in terms of what a sadhak or disciple has to do, because as you have already shared that there are only two things that one has to do. One is meditation, and that too only for 15 minutes, and twice a day, morning, evening, or afternoon, night, or whatever. And the second thing is chanting of the mantra. And in this practice, chanting of the mantra is of pivotal importance. So that chanting of the mantra has to be done as much as anyone can. If somebody can do it 24 into 7, even that is very much encouraged. And we know that yes, that may not be possible, but at the same time, with sincerity, whatever is possible, chanting of the mantra is most crucial. And when this question arises that what comes in the way on the spiritual on this path of spiritual progress, so there are three common reasons for lack of spiritual progress or impediments, we can say. So one is incorrect practice. So by incorrect practice, it is meant that maybe people are pronouncing mantra in little bit incorrect way. Maybe their pronunciation is faulty. Although mantra is very simple, it's only a three-word mantra, Sanskrit chant, and it's very simple. There are no complicated words in that. But then also there is a possibility that one may pick up little bit of intonation which is not really the correct one. So it is highly encouraged that before adopting this practice, listen to the mantra in Gurudev's voice multiple times. So much so that when you close your eyes, you are able to imagine Gurudev's chanting that mantra in your head or ears or wherever, and then start chanting just after, as a copy, just chant that intonation. So that is the most correct way to do it. And if you feel that you're not chanting it right, then you may get your pronunciation checked by sending us maybe a message, maybe on WhatsApp, that this is how I'm chanting the mantra. Is it correct or not? So a lot of people chanted struggle free, but if some of you may be facing any issue that they are not able to ascertain that whether they are chanting it in the right way or not, then you may reach out to us on WhatsApp. And then, of course, meditation, as Gurudev has suggested, has instructed rather, that it has to be done twice a day, and that too for 15 minutes. And then there is a small process or procedure to it, that while meditating, you must be empty stomach, and then you have to look at the photograph of Gurudev for around 1 minute, 2 minutes, and then you have to close your eyes, and there is no particular posture that you need to adopt. So whatever way you like, you sit, and you must feel comfortable, otherwise you will not be able to meditate. So once you do this, you see the picture, and then you close your eyes and pray to Gurudev to help you meditate for 15 minutes. And once you pray, then you imagine Gurudev on your third eye, and then you start meditating. And that doesn't mean that your mind will not go here and there, but the point is that you follow this process. After following this process for the next 10-15 minutes, whatever happens will be happening, and you do not have to judge your meditation practice as good, bad, right, wrong, or anything like that. Whatever happens after following this process is good for you only. So that is it. We have already discussed, and some of you or many of you would already be aware that in this meditation practice, yogic movements can happen in an involuntary way, or pranayama can happen. That means breathing exercises can happen on their own accord, and some yogic mudras can also take place. So, whatever will be happening is something that is good for you. That means it's meant for you. That is why it is happening. If they were not meant for you, they wouldn't have been happening. So, have the right information in place by reading from the website www.gurusiyagyoga.org, and then start to practice so that you are aware that what this practice involves. And then second most common reason is inconsistent practice. So there is no rocket science when it comes to understanding that inconsistency in anything will not bear much results anyway. So all of us are already aware of that. That like any other area, in this area also, if you are not consistent, then naturally you will not be able to progress on this path. But some people would say that they want to meditate a lot, they want to chant the mantra a lot, but somehow they are not able to chant the mantra, they are not able to meditate. And so many a times they all they need to do is that they need to perhaps make a strong resolve. They can find a way by thinking around this on their own, and they can work on developing that one-to-one communication connection with Gurudev. And it is not appropriate for me to suggest that you just ask for 5 minutes of meditation if you do not have 15 minutes, or you just take a vow to chant the mantra whenever you are working in the kitchen or anything like that. So basically, these are all your personal commitments or personal communication with your guru. So the whole idea is that this is not a mechanical practice. This is not a mechanical. The path of spiritual transformation is not a robotic kind of thing. It's a very personal one-on-one bonding with your guru. And to develop that bonding, you have to take your problems to your guru. If you are facing any problem in consistently meditating and doing the mantra jap, then please keep approaching your guru and seek his help. He is omnipotent, omnipresent, omnipowerful. He is supreme. He will certainly help you in moving forward. However, if you are inconsistent because of laziness or forgetfulness and all that, then of course you only can do something about it. We can't be progressing on this path by believing that Gurudev will only make us reactive and he will do all the things to remove our laziness, and we don't have to do anything. So that is not the case at all, because to progress means that you progress as a being. So your thinking will get enhanced, your actions will get enhanced, the way you approach challenges get enhanced. So everything will be enhancing, and your karmas will also be enhancing, your actions will also be enhancing. And those of you who shrink from doing action, so they all of these things will slowly start vanishing. So that is what is progress all about, right? So you have to put your effort, and which is to be very honest, which is very meager in terms of what we get on this path of spiritual transformation, because meditating twice a day only for 15 minutes is so doable, and this can be vouched for by thousands of people like me and Manju, because we got into this practice because of this very reason. And in fact, this was a very strong reason that, oh, only 15 minutes a day, okay, then we can give a try. Because we have been practicing, or we could say that we were struggling from many years, finding paths to meditate and develop that connection with a spiritual power or universe or whatever. But somehow every meditation practice was very complicated, and we don't want to go there. But here everything was so simple that that only became the reason. We were not very sure of anything else, but we were very sure that okay, 15 minutes we can do, that's it. So we started with that. So second common reason as shared is inconsistent practice. And the third reason that is also very common is knowledge or information overload. So all of you in this internet age, and WhatsApp and YouTube universities, and free free information and knowledge being banging on your door through all your devices that all of us have these days. So we end up reading a lot on the chakras, on various type of meditations, healing, and maybe esoteric practices. And then we get excited by information which suggests that you can have lot of power, and that power can make you a great manifester, and then you can have lot of money and all kind of comforts or relationships that you desire, and you will have powers that will make you kind of a superhuman who would have great memory and would have great body. So so we 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 consume a lot of information, and whatever information is on the net. So the question is not of that information being right or wrong. So basically what happens is that most of this information is highly incomplete, to say the least. So wrong and right is something that of course we can't. Every information may be right in a particular way, but until unless we understand something in totality, then it can't be utilized well, and in fact it can have adverse effects. And especially on this path wherein we raise our energy, and we we these kind of change our being by consistently doing something. So by that I mean, suppose I'm reading a lot on spiritual affairs, and then I decide to try a couple of things, and then for a few days I chant some different type of mantra, and then I combine the mantras that okay, this one is also good, that one is also good, and that guru has told this practice and asked me to get at this time and that time. So to put it in to conclude, so this approach doesn't work. Basically we feel excited, but somehow we are not able to go anywhere, because for anything to bear fruit, we have to follow a system that has been established. And in this case, that means this path of spiritual transformation, the system has to be established by a Sadguru, a truly enlightened being. And there are few things that really matters when we are choosing, or maybe when we are yearning for having a guru. So of course there are a lot of gurus who have uh, following, who mass followings of celebrities, or people who belong to really urban society and strata. But then also just have a look at their websites around what they're selling. So they're selling meditation, and they are selling all kind of things. Of course, whatever they are doing is not a bad thing altogether, but the whole point is that Gurudev Sri Ramlalji Siyag has never charged a single penny, has never asked the disciples to pay anything to get the Diksha mantra. So if somebody wanted to donate something, of course, people might have donated, must have donated rather, but they were never, nobody was ever asked to pay anything. And now, since he is not in his body and the Diksha mantra is freely available, so we do not have to go anywhere, we do not have to pay anywhere. There are no levels involved in this, that okay, for level 1, for this shuddhi, or for that elevation, for these chakra openings, level 1, so these many dollars, or these many rupees, or anything like that. And these are the places or ashrams or centers that you must visit, and all that, to get consecrated and all that stuff. So there is nothing of that sorts involved. And this is truly the hack, we can say, because the mission of Gurudev is to enlighten each being on the planet. So that is why this practice has to be something which even a child can understand, which even somebody who hasn't even gone to school can understand, somebody who doesn't have very high intellectual power, even that person can understand and do it easily. So this practice is all about raising your own self from inside by following this process. So Gurudev hasn't really given lot of parvachans or knowledge, so packets around that what to eat, what not to eat, and at what time to sleep, and what is the right way to, what is the right direction to sleep, and what is the right way to pick your food, and what is the right way to talk to people and conserve your energy or save your energy, what is the right way uh, to really save yourself from dark powers and all that, what is the right way to talk to your children, what is the right way to progress in at your work or in relationships. So he hasn't given any information, any help uh, around these topics at all, because what his mission is to enlighten every being, and by that it means that whatever is needed by your soul will come from inside you, because the guru is in you. By chanting this mantra, the guru will manifest in you fully. So all the wisdom that you would need in your life will come from inside. So please do not confuse yourself by studying a lot on how to open the chakras and Indian system of philosophy. There is no harm in reading. Those people who love to read, and I myself love to read a lot, and I love to watch a lot of TED talks, motivational videos, and whatnot. But at the same time, we must be established in what we have chosen as our spiritual path. We must be established in that, in terms of that okay, this I am doing this, and this whatever I am doing is under the guidance of Guru Sri Ramlalji Siyag. and with a constant prayer, surrender, and faith that whatever is meant for me to read, please send only those things for me to read or watch. So, with that kind of prayer, yes, those of you who like to consume information, they can do it. But do not misuse half baked information, thinking that you will be able to carve a path by mixing and matching mantras and picking this from that practice and this. So, all this will not work at all. So we have already discussed that can we, somebody asked that can we chant other mantras also with this mantra that we get from Guru Siyag. So we do not have to do that because there is no need. There is no need. So this is like that, can I have already eaten my food, so can I have two more uh, bread and one more mango or anything? So that will not serve. Although this example is very simple, but the whole point is that will create more disturbance rather than harmony in your spiritual progress, because mantra has got every mantra has got vibration. So basically whatever Gurudev has designed, just follow that exactly. So these are the three most common impediments for someone who is not able to progress spiritually on this path. However, there are more, and maybe Manju would like to share a few.
Yeah, thank you, Varma. It was really, I think, a lot of clarity must have emerged once you described that so nicely, and taking care of each and every aspect so uh, into, I think, depth. That was really nice. And I'm sure all of you who are watching, who are thinking of getting into practicing Guru Siyag Yoga would have got a lot of clarity about how simple, how easy, and without any cost you can get into this. And I would like to add few more things into this, which we have earlier also discussed, but I believe repetition makes its way, and that's how we also got help, while we were on our path. That some of us, we start comparing each other, that the other person is having yogic kriya, I'm not having. The other
Yeah.
person can see light, I can't see. The other person can sit for 15 minutes and my mind is hovering with ideas. So there's a lot of comparison which you might experience, or which you would like to, do. So we would say just refrain from that. And the reason is that we all have our own journey. We have our past life karmas. We have our own account, I would say. And that account is summation of so many things, karmic accounts. So Gurudev knows what is right for us. And for this, we need to have a lot of faith, surrender towards Him. That whatever is happening from now onwards, means as soon as you got initiated, is up to Him, and you're going to follow this path with lot of reverence, lot of faith, and complete surrender. That cannot be an, I would say, an iota of doubt into it. And if that is so, then definitely whatever is happening to you is for your utmost progress, and you have to understand it, you have to believe in it. For a simple example, like suppose I need to, have muscles, right? I want to build my muscles. What do? I go to the gym. I show up every day. I do my whatever exercises I need to do, and slowly my muscles would, start building up.
Yes, right.
Similarly, we are going to you're going to build up your spiritual muscles, right? Which means the only thing again you need to do is just show up. sit for meditation for 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening, and do mantra jap round the clock in the right way, which is the right pronunciation. That's it. You're not, Gurudev never asked anything beyond this. Such a simple thing. Now, we, like, not when I say we, it means we've also gone through this path, right? So we are comparing with others, we are doubting it, and we are, like Gorima said, knowledge. We are just going on the internet and trying to know more about it in a way of, doubting it. When you want to know more is different as compared to when you're doubting and then you want to know more, which means you don't have you're not having faith in it, so that's different. So just to be, you're curious about something, go. But Gurudev had only asked us to do those two simple things, and human transformation takes place. And it would come slowly. Like I said, your muscles are getting built up. Even if he wants to give you, give you so much, we do not have that muscle strength, or we do not have that spiritual, I would say, acumen or brain, or that strength to receive
Right.
everything in that proportion. And that would only develop by showing up, by doing our practices diligently, by doing our practices sincerely. When we are sitting for 15 minutes, are we doubting? Or even if thoughts are coming, but here I am submitted to Gurudev that whatever you do, even if thoughts are coming, I know with your grace and with your, with whatever you want to do, I am there. Do whatever you want to do of me. Yeah, we have this aspiration that definitely, Gurudev, this is 15 minutes I want to sit for meditation. That's what is required. Rest, He will do it. It will happen as and when we proceed on our path. We just need to be sincere in our efforts. We just need sincerity and surrender. I think surrender is a word which would be meaning, which would also have sincerity, right? And dedication. Just need to surrender. Don't need to kind of think that, that guru said this, but this Gurudev is not saying this, you know, and there's no so much of pomp and show around it. And we start doubting. And we also feel that, okay, I will try this. And this is my backup plan, that if this doesn't work, I'll do this again. So that doesn't work like this, right? We are into a spiritual relationship where we give up everything we have, our ego, our doubts, everything into Gurudev's lotus feet. And we go ahead with that surety that this is my home, this is my place, and this is where in his lotus feet will I get whatever I want from this life. And he knows the best. What he is giving is what I need, and what he is not giving is what I really don't need. Because we have small vision. We can't even understand that if that is right for us or not. But we go on asking so many things. But definitely, Gurudev has his own ways of, helping us and letting us or giving us whatever is required by us. We don't have to get demotivated. We don't have to get scared. Just be there. And we have a community, means we have, this is one of the ways to reach out to us. We have our telephone numbers, you have website. Any doubt, reach to us. But having doubt and having questions and making answers on your own, which is not right. That's not the way we go ahead on this spiritual path. Having unrealistic expectation is another thing which we suffer from, that, that here I am, and here I have listened to mantra, and here I am, doing mantra jap on my own wherever I feel, and everything around me should change. No, it's a process. We need to be there, and it will happen in its own way, at its own speed, in that right amount, which is right for me. And who's going to do it? Gurudev is going to do it. We need to have a lot of patience, And again, I would say that faith and surrender and any laxity on that front will not give us results. That's for sure. It is either
Yeah.
100% or it is nothing. It when you're 100% into it, this would definitely yield results. And we are as common as all of us, we came into this practice, we had questions, they were answered, we were in the community means we continue to watch videos, we had faith, and if we had questions, we asked questions on YouTube's, or even Dharmender ji. We used to ask him questions, and he, as he is, like, so nicely he answered. And I would say slowly it started happening that we got answers in the way of only watching a YouTube or reading something. We started getting those answers, so that's how. And you don't have to get demotivated by, if something is not happening, because that's not right for you, and that's the kind of faith you need to have. You just need to show up, you just need to be there, and that's what will, I would say, that's the right way of human transformation. Just have faith, surrender, and continue to do your practice in an authentic way. And that definitely would yield results. You'll get inner guidance, you will get answers. There'll be small, small things. The grace would come into small things, which you would be just, I mean, I would just say in awe, that is it. I mean, such small thing is also being taken care of by Gurudev. I mean, getting your parking place, somebody just coming out of nowhere and telling you, okay, here it is for you. I mean, I'm just sharing my own feeling. I mean, the grace would come in small, in form of people, in form of ideas, in form of opportunities, and in form of, yeah, in form of things which you feel should have happened and they did not happen to you. And definitely going forward, you would realize, wow, this was something that protected me. This is for my protection. This is for my, safety, which happened. And I mean, you can just be in awe of how Gurudev will come in different forms, in different ways, in different thoughts. You need to be having faith in your gut, in your feelings which you're feeling. And I'm getting goosebumps when I'm saying all this. But definitely, I mean, the grace just comes from every place, every nook and corner. And doing this mantra jap and meditation would lead us to human transformation, which is so much well awaited for all of us. And Gurudev's mission is to that each and every person on this planet has to be transformed into the divine, has to get into divine transformation. And that's what we have to be a part of. Whether you want to do it today or tomorrow, that only depends on you. So, we are here to just share this simple knowledge with you, a simple practice with you. And we would invite you to practice it for 30 days, 60 days, fully, completely, with 100% surrender, and see what happens, and just be in awe rather than in doubt. That's the way you can go ahead. Yes, and Gurudev is so simple. And like Gaurima was saying that, I would say we have to, he hasn't put any restrictions because he was walking his talk. He is so simple, and we haven't met him. But what we've heard about him is, I mean, full of compassion, love, and, we can just follow him. We don't need to be, there are no do's and don'ts prescribed by him. Perhaps it was I would say, silent way of saying that just follow me, be just available, see me in everyone. And that's what I think is the universal message, that let's look at, each one of us are a part of Gurudev. So when we can see Gurudev in each one of us, is what I think is the ultimate objective of this human transformation. Yes, so Gaurima, I think I've spoken a lot, and we are just, I think Gurudev's video has to be displayed now.
Yeah.
With Gurudev's mantra. I'll just tell you a simple process. So once we
I want to
this,
speak something
okay,
about it. That since we
yeah.
covered this, that what are some of the things that block our path of Guru Siyag Yoga. So we have shared a couple of pointers like incorrect practice or inconsistent practice or knowledge overload, then maybe unrealistic expectations, and then lack of faith and surrender and comparison with others, or we get demotivated and all that. And maybe going forward, we will pick up more on this topic, because yes, Manju shared a couple of things like having unflinching faith and surrender. So as somebody who has just begun, so that may not immediately come, and it is something which will really help you to progress. So maybe we will talk about it in our further sessions, that how there are people who didn't have faith in the beginning, but how faith and surrender slowly comes when we keep doing the practice. That is what Manju shared, that keep showing up, make a resolution that okay, for 30 days, for 60 days, and things like that. So maybe we will pick up that uh, how we can inculcate this faith and surrender. For some people it comes naturally, and for some people it doesn't come naturally. So those of you who right now do not, or do feel that you do not have enough faith or surrender, then please keep practicing, and keep interacting with Gurudev. That I have gotten into this path. So thank you so much, first of all, for making this path freely available for everyone, and that is why you are here, right? So, and pray to him that show you the right way. And Gurudev, in his own talks, he has shared that if you do not get any results, then what's the point of doing it? So he has been very straightforward in his interactions and messages. So he has been very open about it, that what's the point if you do not get any results in the practice. So please continue whatever uh, thing you feel right for yourself. But our motive here is to provide you some basics when you are wanting to practice Guru Siyag Yoga, so that when that faith and surrender is not naturally coming, so you have some basics, some information, some words from practitioners who have been practicing for couple of years. So you have certain experiences, so you can use whatever you find convincing to keep practicing for some time. And then we are sure that if you allow yourself to notice that what changes are happening in your life, then you will start finding quite a few things, and you will be linking those things to Guru Siyag Yoga. So one of the example is that maybe the way you talk might change, the way you interact with people may change, the way you process your thoughts, maybe you will find some difference in the level of anger or anything. So these subtle changes you will notice on your own. And if you allow yourself to practice this with sincerity, that maybe you can just decide that okay, I will practice for these many months, and then allow yourself to notice these changes that that surely would be coming by practicing this method. And of course, here we are really talking of very, very small things, because on this program, we do not really endeavor to talk about big stuff, which is about enlightenment, which is about so many changes that you go through when the goddess Kundalini will get activated in you. We do not talk much about various changes at all the levels that you will be feeling when this surge of energy will become evident in you. So here we are discussing these things at a very new practitioner level. So do not think that okay, only small stuff will happen. Maybe I'll start feeling peaceful for a few days, or maybe I'll become a little bit calm and all that. No, this is a complete end-to-end path. This path will not drop midway. That okay, you have elevated yourself a couple of notches, and then what to do now? No, this path is about that wherever you are to wherever your journey ends. So, this path is from beginning to the end. So, all your questions would be answered. Everything, there is nothing hanging loose here. So, a lot of things will come your way through people like us who are talking about it, but at the same time, there are so many things that are so, I won't say mystic in nature, but they are so experiential in nature, and so personalized in their elemental thing that you feel, that it's very hard to describe various truths that are happening, that you are experiences, and they may not be relevant to you. So what Manju is experiencing in her life, of course she has been sharing quite a few things, I have been sharing, but these things are all just tip of the iceberg, and Manju would agree to that, like a lot of practitioners, that we can only share what we can really put our words to in a way that is comprehensible, that is easy to understand, that is something that you can easily grasp. But what we get on this path is beyond words, and the whole objective is actually going beyond whatever we do with our senses. But any which ways, that is not the topic for the discussion. So yes, now is the time to hear our beloved Gurudev and the magical Sanjeevni mantra. So
Yeah.
pranam to Gurudev.
And I will just follow through
Yoga
the
means
instructions.
yoga
Yeah,
means
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
once
Yeah.
more, please hear the instruction. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you just look at Gurudev's picture and see it for a few seconds, and then visualize Gurudev on the third eye and request him for 15 minutes of meditation. Perhaps today we will be only able to do perhaps 5 minutes. Varuna, is that all right?
Yeah,
Five
yeah,
minutes
yeah.
of meditation
5
we'll
minutes.
do for today. But however, we recommend, and Gurudev has asked us to do meditation for 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening. But today, because we don't have time, so we will only be practicing 5 minutes of meditation. So look at Gurudev on the third eye and then request him for 15 minutes of meditation. And you will be listening to the mantra just now, and start chanting that mantra without moving your lips or without moving your tongue, which means the way you read the book, inside. So you don't have to be vocal about it, right? And just chant the mantra. The thoughts will come, let it come, and you have to hold back to the mantra. This will continue for some time, and slowly, with a lot of practice, you will come to a place, where the thoughts will start coming down. So you have to be consistent in chanting the mantra for 15 minutes, and you'll be surprised that after 15 minutes only your eyes will open. You might experience some movements which we call because of which, I mean, do not feel scared about it. The movements are mainly of the blockages which we have inside, and the kundalini, which is the mother shakti, that will just kind of, in order to unlock that block or to remove that block, that activity takes place. So after 15 minutes it will stop on its own. So the only thing you need to do it is sit in a place which is comfortable, and which is, I mean, where you have some space around yourself, and do not get scared by if you have some movements. There may be slight movements like your neck going here and there. Some people will just move shoulders. Some people might just have some more movements. So just wait for 15 minutes. It'll stop it on its own, and you'll find a lot of relief after that. That's the best part. So do not judge those movements. Just don't try to even strongly hold on to it. I mean, not letting it happen. That's not, don't do that. Let it happen. You will feel much better after that. This mantra is also going to make you feel spiritually, physically, and emotionally much better in as you progress, which Gauram also spoke about. You'll find a lot of benefits, and you must share your benefits, how you got benefited after doing this meditation with us on the chat going forward. So we'll start the mantra, go through it, look at Gurudev on the third eye, request him for 15 minutes of meditation, and do the mental chanting of mantra for 15 minutes. Yeah.
Yoga mean Yoga means a union of the soul with God or the universal consciousness force. What are the benefits of Siddhi Yoga? Siddhi Yoga heals, cures, or frees the body from any physical illness, aids various forms of cancers, diabetes, arthritis, asthma, and even genetic disease like hemophilia. In the case of disease such as AIDS, which attacks the entire body, the patient may experience internal kriyas like sensation or heat, electricity, or tingling. According to Siddhi Yoga philosophy, the divine power awakened by the enlightened Guru gets transmitted through his blissful voice to the listeners, irrespective of language spoken by the Guru. This divine power transmissions occurs smoothly and remain unaffected by the language being used. Regular practice of Siddhi Yoga strengthens the immune system. The Kundalini acts as a protective shield of the immune system and wards off the onslaught or recurrence of any disease. Impact of Kundalini awakening. The Kundalini makes the practitioner perform kriyas that are specific to his needs. With this cleaning, the practitioner is cured of all kinds of chronic and even terminal disease such as HIV, AIDS, cancer, arthritis, etc., and genetic disorder like hemophilia. Mental application too are completely cured and stress is completely relieved. Cling, Krishna, cling. 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 Cling, Krishna, cling.
Jai Gurudev, everyone. So kindly come out of meditation. Thanks a lot for joining today, and see you again on next Wednesday. Jai Gurudev.